You know how it is, you open up TikTok, Instagram, or YouTube just for a second, and suddenly an hour is gone. Your feed just gets you. It feels like it was made for you, almost like magic. But have you ever stopped scrolling and just wondered why? Why is it so good at keeping you hooked?
Right. We've all been there. The app just seems to know exactly what you want to see next, serving up one perfect video after another. But here's the thing. It's not magic. Not at all. It's by design.
And that hidden force, well, that's what we're going to unmask today. Think of it like an invisible hand that's shaping your entire digital world. It decides what you see, what you get angry about, and, maybe most importantly, what you never see at all.
So let's pull back the curtain on this engagement engine. Because to really get why your feed is filled with so much drama and sensationalism, you first have to understand this thing called algorithmic bias.
So what this really means is that the algorithm isn't designed to show you what's true or what's good for you, or even what's high quality. Nope, it's designed for one thing and one thing only, to show you whatever it takes to keep you watching. And that creates this massive bias towards certain kinds of content.
And you got to remember this. For these platforms, the absolute top goal is maximizing the time your eyes are glued to that screen. Everything, and I mean everything, flows from that one single motivation.
And for an algorithm, the math is just painfully simple. Sensational content, the arguments, the outrage, the drama, it triggers a big, immediate emotional reaction. It's super easy to share, and it spreads like wildfire. But that informative, nuanced stuff, well, that takes focus, a little bit of patience, so more often than not, it just gets buried.
And get this, there's actually brain science behind why this works so well. It's something called the spectacle effect. When we see something that makes us really angry or totally surprised, our brain releases a little hit of dopamine. It's that same feel-good chemical that makes roller coasters so thrilling. The platforms know this, and well, they profit from keeping us hooked on that feeling, scroll after scroll.
But this is way more than just about a few wasted hours. This constant diet of sensationalism has some serious real-world dangers. It's trapping every single one of us in our own little personalized reality.
And this is what's known as the filter bubble. It's pretty simple. The algorithm sees you like a certain type of content, so it feeds you more of it, and then even more, until your entire feed becomes this cozy little echo chamber, where any opposing ideas just fade away.
And the result is kind of scary. You can have two people living in the same house, but they exist in completely different digital worlds. User A's feed might be full of liberal news and climate action content. Meanwhile, User B is seeing a reality filled with conservative commentary and, say, unproven health cures. They're both scrolling on the same app, but they are not living in the same reality, not even close.
And the fallout from this is massive. It just chips away at our critical thinking skills. It lets misinformation spread way faster than actual facts. It polarizes us. It can even sway elections. And now, with the rise of AI-generated deepfakes, these engagement-hungry algorithms can amplify some seriously dangerous fake content just to get more clicks.
Now, you're probably thinking, okay, but surely the platforms are doing something about this. And yeah, they are, trying. But the solutions they've come up with so far, let's just say they haven't been all that effective.
There's a quote from our source material that just nails it. The fixes we're seeing are like putting a Band-Aid on a broken bone. They might cover up the ugly parts, but they do absolutely nothing to fix the actual break underneath.
And you've seen these things, right? Those little info panels on YouTube, the fact-check labels on Instagram, all the promises to demote so-called borderline content. They're all well-intentioned, for sure, but they're just not enough. Because here's the fundamental problem. These fixes are always a step behind. They're reactive. They try to catch misinformation after it's already spreading. And with literally millions of videos being uploaded every single day, it's like trying to put out a raging forest fire with a tiny squirt gun. The core problem, that engagement engine, is still just humming along at full speed. Okay, so if the current fixes are failing, what's the answer? Is there a better way? Well, fortunately, there's a really innovative idea out there, a totally new blueprint for building a better, more ethical algorithm.
It's called the sandwich method. And the idea is actually brilliant in how simple it is. Instead of just feeding you an endless river of stuff you already like, the algorithm would intentionally and gently balance that entertainment with some real information.
So here's how it would work. You're scrolling through all the fun stuff, the cat videos, the comedy skits you love. That's like the bread of the sandwich. Then the algorithm subtly slips in a piece of good stuff, a high-quality, balanced, informative video. And then right after, boom, you're back to your regular fun feed.
See, the goal isn't to force-feed you a bunch of boring educational content. It's all about a gentle nudge. It just subtly pops that filter bubble, exposing you to a new idea here and there, all without ruining the fun, engaging experience that you came for in the first place.
And this could be super personalized and smart. For instance, if a user is binge-watching a ton of one-sided political videos, the algorithm could sandwich in a short, neutral counterpoint. Or, if someone is falling down a rabbit hole of health conspiracies, it could insert a quick, evidence-based clip from a trusted medical source.
Now, making this work would mean a whole new way of defining success. Instead of just being obsessed with watch time, platforms would aim for more of a balanced enrichment score. They'd actually measure things like, are we exposing people to diverse views? Are we improving their well-being? It's a huge shift from the quantity of time spent to the quality of time spent.
And at the end of the day, this isn't just about business. It's an ethical imperative. The platforms that have so much power over our world have a real responsibility to put our well-being ahead of their profits. Algorithms are incredibly powerful tools. They should be designed to serve us, to empower us, not to trap us.
Look, this isn't just a technical problem for coders to solve. It's a human one. And changing the code, changing the algorithm, is really just the first step toward building a healthier digital world for every single one of us. So the real question is, are we ready to break out of our bubbles and demand it?